Hello. It is now the next day at 8:44 a.m. and I realized that I accidentally included the picture of the integral function in my video. Luckily, it was only like 7 seconds long, but that's annoying. Because when I edit the videos, basically what I do is I just put it all in the Windows Movie Maker, and usually it would take a long time for it to render it in there or something, but I just skip that part and just save it as is, so I'm not able to really look at it before I save it. So that's why I didn't notice. So at least now I'm starting earlier than I did the last two times. And also I just have to finish 2 questions here. But the one question I'm doing is very difficult because it's an integral, a complicated integral that might require some of knowledge of complicated processes that I did in Calc 2 that I totally forgot how to do. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is probably look in my old textbook and look through the chapters and figure out which chapter I learned how to do that from, or I could try to figure it out by myself. But I think it'd be more productive just to look in the chapter. So I guess what I'll do now is, since I have so little stuff to do here, I'll just give you an update when I've finished, or at least when I've figured it out and I've finished answering number 19. It's only been like 15 minutes later and I got the right answer. So I'm very disappointed with the way I had to do this, but I looked in my textbook to figure out how to figure out this integral, and I couldn't. There was no real obvious answer for how I was gonna do it. So then I was like, wait a minute, I can just type this integral into my calculator and get a very good approximation of the answer. So it feels really sad that I'm not able to actually calculate the integral, like using just my brain. But I typed it into the calculator and I got 235.2, and then I typed that in for the answer, and it turned out that's the correct answer. So at least I know I did all the preliminary work correctly. So that's what really matters, I think. Not that I can do some really complicated integral, but I can set up the integral properly. So now we just have number 20. It looks very long, complicated, but it probably won't be that bad. So we'll see if I can do that. Okay, it is 9:38 and I have finished. It only took about 1 hour to finish, as I predicted yesterday, actually, which is nice. So 20. Let's see, what did I do for that one? It was just more of the same stuff, really. Basically, just using the vector value to functions, and doing derivatives on it, and plugging in numbers, stuff like that. And I was able to get the correct answer. So now I have completely finished assignment number 1. So now I've looked ahead into the next assignment, and that is due on Saturday. So what I'll probably do is tomorrow I have a couple of other things I want to do besides homework, and I don't really feel like doing homework tomorrow. So what I'll probably do is on Tuesday. Also Tuesday is the day that my computer class starts, and I'm not entirely sure what that's going to entail. But I'm assuming that they're not going to have an assignment due on the first day of class. So, but I will still at least look over the class on Tuesday and see what's going on there. But mainly what I'll be doing on Tuesday is I will be finishing the entirety of assignment 2. This is quite weird for me. Usually I do not work ahead on my assignments like this. Usually I just wait till the last day or last 2 days before it's due. But I think I have the ability to have self-control. I have the ability to have discipline, and I can get it all done on Tuesday, which is several days before it's due, and get ahead of myself here. So in fact, I could keep working ahead. I could like do it all on Tuesday, and then maybe on Thursday or Friday I could do the next week's homework, and I could actually start getting it way ahead of schedule. So that is an extremely optimistic plan. But then again, I said that it was very optimistic yesterday that I'd finish all the rest of the assignment. Well, actually, I didn't finish it, but I, in effect, did, because the last 2 questions like only took 1 hour today. So, I'm not sure if this method of doing homework with taking videos every once in a while was more effective than streaming it on Twitch, but I think it may have been kind of effective for me because I stayed focused on it for the entire time. I didn't really take any super long breaks or like got super distracted. Now I did get distracted a few times, but it was very minor. Like I ate lunch, like obviously everyone has to eat lunch, and I was talking to my dad, and what am I going to do? Just say, well, I can't talk, I have to do homework, because I had plenty of time. So yeah, I am planning to basically do the exact same amount of work I did, but in a much shorter period of time, because while I was focused on the homework, I was not very efficient with it, because I was kind of sitting there, and I would just kind of space out and sit there and take like 5 years to even start working. While I was sitting there staring at the homework, I wasn't necessarily doing it. So that's probably why it took me a total of 15 hours to complete one assignment. So my goal is to maybe even take less than 10 hours, like maybe even like 5 hours. Maybe I can get it all done in like five hours or something, which is kind of a long time, but as long as I stay focused, it's not too bad. That's less than a normal work day anyways. Like most people just go to work for 8 hours, and they're doing work for 8 straight hours with almost no breaks. So these videos were kind of weird, and thinking about it, I didn't really expect anyone to watch them, and also watching them back, I feel like they're kind of cringy, but it's either this or the Twitch streaming, and I think this worked slightly better. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like even if it didn't, I feel like maybe it did, just by virtue of the fact that I feel like doing this rather than streaming on Twitch. So that's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you on Tuesday.